What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is Wednesday, September the 9th, 2020. Again, today is Wednesday, September the 9th, 2020. I'm starting out today by asking you a question. What is your plan? What is your voting plan for 2020? We need to start putting that into motion now so that we have something outlined as we are going forward into doing everything that God has called us to do in this season. So good morning, Brenda Randleman. So please begin answering your question, what is your plan for this upcoming election 2020? We are less than 60 days, so we don't have a lot of time to play around, but we do need to plan. So with that, let's get started. As I was preparing to come on live this morning, there was some breaking news. It may or may not be something of interest to you, but I still want to share it because I'm shocked by the number. I received some news this morning that Tiffany Company, y'all know the little turquoise box that we flying around, they've been sold. They've been sold, not just sold, y'all. They've been sold for $16.2 billion. Let that sink in. $16.2 billion with a B dollars. Tiffany Company has been sold. They've been sold to LVMH, which is the world's largest luxury conglomerate. They own people like Christian Dior, Louis Vuitton, and others. So let that sink in. $16.2 billion. So that's the breaking news that I received this morning. So let's keep going, though. Where's the truth in this story? All right, last week, many of you know, because someone else gave me the exact number. I can't remember who that was. But many of you know that last week I reported that 39 girls were found in Georgia, which was sourced by 4 reputable sources. Good morning, Jacqueline. By 4 reputable sources. Okay, the government has what you call Operation Not Forgotten. And if you remember, if you watched the RNC a couple weeks ago, both the occupant and his daughter spoke about Operation Not Forgotten during the RNC, during their speech. And then people started questioning what happened to the children and why no more mentioning of these children that were claimed to be found in Georgia. And as all these sources continued to dig, what came out yesterday was that it never happened. That never happened. If you remember, I sourced the Associated Press, the New York Times, People Magazine, Politico, and the U.S. Marshals are saying that this didn't happen. We're all at a loss. Why was this a news release? Why was it a press release? Why was it circulating around? Why did we hear about it, about the Operation Not Forgotten during the RNC, but now there's nothing? I want to share with you, I'm going to continue to dig. I will be doing an absentee ballot and delivering. Okay, good, Brenda Randleman, good. That's your plan. Good. So just let that sink in. So again, when news come out, and you remember I mentioned yesterday about all these children being found in a container yesterday. Not true. It's false. It's not true. And I was sharing with you all that it was false information. And now this came out on yesterday. So what's going on? So we're going to continue to dig to find out where this is coming from. But that came from a U.S. Marshal yesterday. Next up, not surprised. Good morning, Adrian. Not surprised. The Justice Department, now I want y'all to follow this. We've been talking about following the money, so I want you to pay attention to this. The Justice Department intervenes in the defamation lawsuit brought by Jean Carroll, a woman who has accused the occupant of the Oval of sexual assault inside Bergdorf Goodman dressing room. She actually said she was raped. Good morning, Marshall. So get this, people. He's being defended. They are defending him. The Justice Department is defending him on our money. We're paying for that. This happened in 1990, I believe, 1991. And the Justice Department has intervened on our dime. Really? Let that sink in. Let that sink in. So what is really happening here? And I can't help but ask this question. Why would we allow anybody, I don't care who you are, to sit in that highest office of the United States of America? Good morning, Jeffrey. In the United States of America, where we let anybody sit there and use our tax dollars to defend things that you may or may not have done. How many women are we talking about now? Up to, good morning, Pastor Alex. How many women are we talking up to now? What, 18, 19, 20 women? So the Justice Department has intervened for the occupant of the Oval. That's our tax money, people. That's our tax money. We need to be contacting our elected officials, asking questions. We hired them. We voted them in. We have every right to ask questions. We have every right to push back. We have every right to do that. This is what this is all about. Y'all know I give my argument. Y'all know I give my reasons why. Y'all know I'm passionate about it. This is our argument. We need to be asking the tough questions. It's not just about voting them into office. It is holding them accountable. You're using our hard-earned money to defend something of a person who wasn't even in office at that time. There's something not right with that. We need to be asking that. So let that sink in. All right, y'all. In the West, there are more than 70 wildfires, more than 70. And it's not even wildfire season yet. Denver had, get this, y'all, Denver had 101 degrees. And 2 days later, they are under a winter weather advisory with snow, ice, sleet, and everything else. Let that sink in. Y'all, we got to get our houses in order for sure. All right, y'all, 9 companies signed a pledge not to rush the vaccine. Let that sink in. 9 companies. And then per CNN, more than 37,000 COVID-19 cases have been reported at colleges and universities in all 50 states. 37,000. Let that sink in. When you look at our coronavirus numbers in the U.S., y'all know I go to the World Health Organization. There are 6,512,747 cases. There are 193,983 deaths. You know, they kept saying we're going to have 200,000 deaths by like December, the end of December. That's going to happen probably before we get out of September. Let that sink in, y'all. There are 3,790,163 that have recovered. So we celebrate that. But now get this. A news report came out like 3 o'clock this morning. CBS News broke this report. There are 513,415 children in the U.S. since the pandemic has started that have tested positive for the coronavirus. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. What are we doing in the United? These are children in the U.S., in the United States of America. Now, get this. AstraZeneca, I want to make sure I say that right, pauses coronavirus vaccine trials after, get this, an unexplained illness in one of the volunteers. They're like, we're going to halt this. We're going to shut this down. We're going to stop all of this right now because we now have someone who has an unexplained illness. That's why for me, my narrative, I am not going to be, I was wondering what these cases look like on college campus. Yeah. 37,000, Elizabeth, 37,000. AstraZeneca, they stopped. They were like, we're stopping these trials because we have an unexplained illness in one of the volunteers. And you're talking about rushing a vaccine? Let that sink in, people. Let that sink in. All right, I share with you that this week I'm going to give you nothing but resources. I wanted to give you news first. The number one news today, I would say, would be the Justice Department intervening to handle a case That's for the Jean Carroll. She's a journalist for like Elle and Vogue and other publications. She said in, I think it was 1991, that she was sexually assaulted. She uses the word raped in the dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman. That number one news piece is, we're paying for that. We're now paying for that. And we need to write into our elected officials to ask questions as to why, and to really raise our voices, because again, we elected them in there. Good morning, Erica. So here are some resources. Ballotpedia.org. If somebody can put that in the thread, that'd be great. And please use the www dot so people can click right to it. Ballotpedia. That's BALLOTPEDIA.org. Okay, you can go there to see what's on your ballot. You put in your information and you automatically will see what's going to be on your ballot. This is planning, y'all. This is planning. When you're looking on the ballot, let me give you a snapshot of some of the things that I think we don't think about. Now, here's an example. There are 7 Secretary of State seats open for this 2020 election. You don't hear about that because you're focused on the top 2. And I'm trying to get all of us to focus on even our local and our state government. Okay, there are 7 seats: Missouri, Montana, North Carolina, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, and West Virginia. There are 7. Thank you for putting that in there. There are 7 seats. So if you live in one of those 7 states, you need to start now doing your research on those individual people. Again, that's Missouri, Montana, North Carolina, Oregon, Vermont, Washington, and West Virginia. There are 128 down ballot state executive offices that are up. So again, go to your state, look at that. If you go to that link, you can see all of that. And don't just say, oh, okay, I know this person. No, see what they stand for. See what their platform is. See what they're bringing to this table. Check their voting record if they have one. And their voting records are public. Check their background, check their bios, check all of that information. All right, you can also, here's another link, so write this one down too. Again, use the www.usa.gov. You go there, you put in your state, and you can see a whole list. So here's some areas that we don't think about. We don't think about county commissioner. We don't think about county prosecuting attorneys. We don't think about the sheriff. We don't think about the treasurer. All 4 of those areas are areas we really need to know about the person who's running for those offices, because those offices then connect to the other office. So y'all, this is like a puzzle piece we're putting together. We're putting together a puzzle piece. So look to see if you have county commissioners that are up for re-election, prosecuting attorneys. Good morning, Deborah. The sheriff or the treasurer. You have to look for those. Here's some more. You got to look at the Court of Appeals judge, the Court of Common Pleas judge, school board members, all of these things, you may be having these names on your ballots. Know who's running, people. Clerk of courts, the state central committee, all of these different areas. So, y'all, we just can't stop at the president and the vice president. We have to look at everyone else that's running. I'm just giving you a snapshot. If you go to that USA.gov, you can find out more. Here's another one. I was actually in a meeting yesterday and remembered this one as well. Another one is ballotready.org. www.ballotready.org. BALLOTREADY.org. There you can explore your ballot. That's another one. You can explore your ballot. You can check out the background of every candidate. You can check out the referendum on the ballot. You can check out all of that. The other thing on Ballot Ready, you can you can compare. They'll give you a comparison chart of the candidates. It's literally, you can compare them and you can read down to see what's going on. You can also look at the issues. You can look at their resume. You can look at their endorsements. You can look at everything. So y'all, these are resources we need to use. It's not just about going in there, pulling a lever or checking off a box. Know who and what you're voting on and why. That is so important. And then of course we want you to vote. Here's another resources. resource. I told you I was giving y'all nothing but resources this week. It may seem overwhelming, but trust me, you want to know this information. This one I talked about yesterday. I told you to go check out whenweallvote.org. So somebody put in there www.whenweallvote.org. You can go there, and they have this app called Outvote. They have an app called Outvote. You can download the app. That's where you can upload all of your contacts. Yep, I do it. You can upload all your contacts, and you can see from your contacts who is registered to vote and who hasn't registered to vote. And then you can send text messages, and guess what? You can block it so they don't know it's coming from you. Hello, somebody. So these are resources that we really need to use, people. We need to use these resources. This is serious. We're less than 60 days. What is your plan? What is your plan? What is your plan of action for this? What is your plan? Have you started your research? I'm begging you, don't just check boxes. Please know the background to all these candidates. The other thing I have to keep stressing, become a poll worker. Y'all, they are still in need of poll workers. I'm getting some information that there's some counties, some states that says that you can only work within the county in which you live. Excuse me. You can only work in that county. But ask questions. Say, okay, you have need. So since you have a need, and I'm just the next county over, can I not work that county? Or if you know people in other counties, find out what counties are open in your area and call your friends around that area and say, hey, can you give up a day to become a poll worker? I love, again, what State Farm is doing, the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta, Georgia, how the workers of State Farm, the arena, if they want to, they can all become poll workers. So they're training them. Again, we know Old Navy's doing it. I believe Gap is doing it. I believe Best Buy is doing it now. I believe Walmart is doing it. I think there are others who are doing it as well. So we got to keep pushing this poll worker, because here's the truth, y'all. If they have to close polling locations, you know where they're going to close them. You know. And here's the problem that I have with them saying you can only work within your county. Well, because the ones that you close, you're going to take those people and move them somewhere else. And you know you're going to do that. So go ahead and let these people work. If you want to become a poll worker or learn more about doing that, you can go to www.eac.gov. www.e, that stands for Election Assistance Commission.gov. You can check them out, or you can also go to pollhero.org. Poll, P-O-L-L, hero, H-E-R-O.org. Again, more resources, more resources, more resources. I still don't know where we are with the census. You can go online if you haven't completed them yet to see if you can still complete it. That is 2020census.gov, so www.2020census.gov. Why is that important? Because that talks about the congressional districts. It also will talk about how money will be spent for an entire decade. Y'all, that's an entire decade. We need that information completed. And thank you for all of you who are putting that information in there. All right, that was a lot. That was a lot, but that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. I give you the news. I give you the rundown. I give you some arguments. And I say, okay, this is what we need to do, people. But we can't do it by ourselves. We have to share this with other people. We have to keep sharing the information. We have to. It's a must. So for the win, I just think she's bad, okay? For the win, so Senator Kamala Harris. Why is she for the win? Because when she deplaned in Milwaukee in those blue jeans and those Chuck Taylor tennis shoes, I was like, that's what I'm talking about. And she did it with such grace. And she's not even saying, hey, I'm not trying to be something that I'm not. Look, this is where I'm at. She had her mask on. She just came out that plane like, bam, I'm here. Who am I speaking with? What do we need to do? And how do we need to strategize? That's the kind of boldness that we need. That's the kind of boldness that we need. So my inspirational message for today is this. What is God speaking to you? It's time for us to just quiet ourselves to hear the voice of God. Those of you who know I'm a believer. So I'm going to always give you this inspirational message weave throughout sometimes, and sometimes just at the end like I'm doing today. What is your plan? Everything I shared with you today, I ended with let that sink in. And as I share with you, let that sink in, I'm saying this is what's happening. We talked about following the money. Now you're going to use my taxpayer money to defend someone, to intervene on something where he wasn't even in office? No, that can't happen. That can't happen. So I have to ask the question, God, what are you speaking to me in this season? How do you choose to use me? And am I willing to say I'm ready? I'm here. Here I am, Lord. Send me. And that's where I'm at today. I'm like, here I am, Lord. Send me. I'm ready. Whatever that looks like. If you want me to continue to give information, I'm going to continue to give information. I believe the information is information we all need to be armed with. So that's what I hear God speaking to me, to stay that course. What is God speaking to you? And I want to encourage you to stay that course. I'm going to say it as I said yesterday. Your miracle is on the way. Your miracle this week. This week. And hear me, don't go look for something grand. That may happen, and we'll celebrate that with you. But it could be a miracle of small things that are happening, where God could be lining up some things for you in this season, and it's for you to take hold of that and run with that. Y'all, we have to run this race. And I know we get tired, but we cannot get tired in this season. We are less than 60 days. Less than 60 days. Now, you don't want to hear this from me, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I had to say this to myself this weekend. If we hit that November 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th, and we find out that this occupant is still in there, what are we going to do? What is that plan? Now, y'all know what I think. I think he's going to quit. I'm going to say that one last time. But let's just say that doesn't happen, and we come to find out when all votes are counted, he's still in there. What's your plan? These other offices that I've mentioned, and I didn't even mention all of them, but these other offices, we better make sure we have people in there who's going to hold him accountable. We do. All right, y'all. I really appreciate you all hanging with me Monday through Friday at 7:25 a.m. I appreciate all the comments, and I try real hard to get through and comment back to each of you. I try to get as many of you when you're coming in to say good morning to you. So I'm going to just say a blanket good morning to everyone. But be blessed today. Do some amazing things today. Hear the voice of God. What is he speaking to you? Check out these resources I share with you and share those resources with other people. And if you're as bold as I'm going to be today, and I'm sure you are, contact your elected officials and ask them, those in the Congress, why are we paying for that? Why are we paying for that? Good morning, Alex. Why are we paying for that? Why are we paying for something that happened in 1990 when he wasn't even in office? Why are we paying for that? All right, y'all got to go over to IG. Let me know. Send me some love in the comment section. Give me some hearts, something. Share the video. Do something, y'all. Let's make it a great day. I am Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Good morning, V. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I am Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. I'll be right here tomorrow if God allows me to be at 7:25 a.m. Until then, peace out.